Few months back, I was doom scrolling in bed when suddenly I came across a rare Thomas the Tank Engine reel. It was a chart of every single Thomas and Friends episode's rating, created through surveying hundreds of people on the internet's largest episode rating website. With the reboot of the show coming up and all 24 seasons done and dusted, I thought it would be fun to go through these rankings and explain them. And so, without further ado, here is the top 10 Thomas and Friends episodes. And number 10, with a score of 8.8, is Percy's ghostly trick. So, Percy tells Thomas a ghost story. Thomas laughs it off as fiction. Percy gets into a predicament and spooks him. I know what you're thinking. That's it? This episode ain't a beacon of moral good, a gripping emotional story, a great character arc. It's just there. So why did the masses rank it as number 10 on this list? Well, to me, the one word that defines this episode is aesthetic. The visuals are realistic and spooky, enthralling you. O'Donnell's and Campbell's soundtrack creeps under your skin, drawing you in. It's never really scary, of course. We know what's happening, yet it's effective nonetheless. Now, this story was originally written by the Reverend himself, but something went wrong in its adaptation. The TV script implies that Percy himself dies and becomes the ghost that haunts Thomas, instead of being the one from the story.
Percy's had an accident, cried Toby. Botheration! That means I'll be late. They've cleared the line for you, but there's something worse. Out with it, Toby. I can't wait all evening. I've just seen something, said Toby. It looked like Percy's ghost. It said it was coming here to warn us. Huh! Who cares? Ah, well, said Thomas. I knew you'd be sad about Percy.
This misstep in the adaptation was probably caught on by a few keen listeners, lowering its ratings through Thomas's utter disregard for his friend's life. But regardless, it still comes in at a respectable 10. And number 9.
And coach is moving steadily forwards.
Busy going backwards. With an 8.8, this story is the ultimate 5-minute Thomas episode. Craig Van Toad wants to be something he's not, gets into a massive chase, then realizes he's content. Moral: yes, the grass is greener on the other side. Visuals: you bet, what a chase. Characters: yeah, alright. I especially love the depiction of the Trolls in this episode. They're not incoherent maniacs. They listen to Toad and are the ones that allow him to go forward, sparking his character growth. They're sort of a chaotic good, if you know what I mean. Now, this episode isn't the best in any specific category. There's more dramatic, more heartfelt, more musical, more aesthetic episodes out there for sure. It simply manages to balance all these elements into 5 minutes to place it a respectable 9. Number 8. The Flying Kipper. With again an 8.8, Season 1 makes its first show in this list. This story in itself is a bit subpar. An engine pulls the train in winter, he crashes, he's repaired. But it's where this story sits within Season 1 that really makes you appreciate it. Henry, the sick one. The hulk of steam let down by a small firebox has been beaten down again and again. Finally, he gets his chance to prove himself, to Hat, to Gordon, to himself. But he fails. Then he returns, fixed and better than ever, with that final shot of him pulling the express. Redemption. And you can redeem yourself to me by hitting that subscribe button down below. I'm trying to get to 2k subscribers. I make music, episodes, models, and give reviews and thoughts on, such as the second major point I'd like to spotlight, the absolute aesthetics of this episode. Compared to the gimmicky hit era where it felt like the engines were toy trains, or Brother, when every episode's 1-minute fantasy sequence blurred the line between reality and cartoons, the Flying Kipper really makes the engines feel real. The Winter Night Train aesthetic is unmatched, placing it a respectable 8. 7. Over the Hill, with again an 8.8. Over the Hill is our first CGI episode on this list, but more importantly, the sole representative for one of the most significant yet often overlooked groups of episodes within Thomas, that is, the Slice of Life episodes. The young at heart Stephen feels threatened by Glenn. They race. They end up just, well, talking and joking. Wait, what? How is this 7? The 1,000 rankers must have all been sniffing special Okay, let me explain. First, this is an entirely character-driven episode. No points set against you, no convenient cartoon line, etc, etc. Secondly, the characters and their dynamics here are, well, superb. We got 2 ancient real-life Railway Series characters, both from very niche different backgrounds, beefing it out, with the zesty French girl Millie and the crazy Earl as their mediators. Not to mention just what an awkward and wonderful dynamic the Earl has with Sir Topham Hatt, who, for one of the few times in the series, is put in a position of vulnerability. Oh, and the spotlight of this episode, the young versus old contrast between the old stars of the railway and new. The fastest engines in the world, from the 1830s and 1930s, lock horns. Oh, just listen to this burn.
Oh, come on, old-timers! Some of us have got work to do!
Stephen, get out of my way! Show some respect for your elders.
Sorry, Gordon. We're racing!
Ha! You call that racing?
I was winning races before you were even a sketch on a drawing board, young Gordon.
The score's also great, the aesthetics too, and this episode just fills you with such a warm, cozy feeling few others can achieve. Number 6.
All the engines enjoyed it. Except Duncan. He didn't like Christmas one bit.
With another score of 8.8, we have Duncan the Humbug. Duncan is a, well, humbug. He wants a new coat of paint. Rusty and Mr. Percival blackmail him and tell him he's making the others feel bad. Duncan denies this, but is forced to oblige anyways. Duncan loses the bet on his new coat of paint by being a jackass to Luke. Duncan realizes he's hurt his feelings and help him anyway. He owns up. Rusty and Percival acknowledge they were kind of wrong to paint him in absolutes too. Is that it? Man, that's a lot. Well, it's unanimous. This is the best Christmas episode of the show. And I got to agree. Firstly, the plot is way more complicated than it ought to be. So many dynamics, so many stakes. Yet, it's a perfect fit for the 9-minute runtime. The show crew definitely have perfected their writing skills to encapsulate their runtime, realizing that replicating the classic series of simple plots in 5 minutes with simple plots in 9 minutes will only lead to the boredom and padding of the hit era. And wow, the characters. Rusty and Duncan definitely put on their best incarnation in, dare I say it, the entire franchise in this one. Rusty refuses to plainly fall into submission, and Duncan isn't a one-tone troublemaker, but someone who, well, speaks plainly of his flaws and all. Luke and Duncan perfectly contrast, and wow, Rusty and Mr. Percival acknowledging their own moral grey and actually challenging the message that is hammered so much into our youth nowadays, that everyone should be happy all the time, is amazing. Just listen.
From now on, I will try and be more cheerful, sir. At least some of the time.
Very good, Duncan. But I think I might have been wrong to ask you to be cheerful all day.
You do grumble a lot. but that's just the way you are.
And it doesn't make you any less useful.
Merry Christmas to you, Duncan.
Merry Christmas to one and all.
Bah, humbug.
Can't forget Rheneas and Skarloey being wise and proper, but imperfect. Not absolutes, but real characters who are still affected by others' negativity. Even Thomas's mandatory cameo, which usually rubs the wrong way, is entwined into the plot here. Don't forget, after a decade of mid, the Hartshorns are peaking here with the score. And the visuals are the peak of the grimy, realistic nitrogen-style animation before the brighter colours and exposure of the later seasons. What a great episode. Hang on, I actually did an adaptation of this episode a few years ago. Oh no, don't check it out, it's cringe. Number 5.